What Africa gives to the world, Europe don't have it, America don't have it, Asia don't have it. As a First Lady, I am not part of a government system. So when I speak on behalf of the people because I understand what the people are going through. At the end of the day, I'm not being paid salary and I cannot be fired either. We cannot wait for other people to come and develop us. Every mining company that is in Sierra Leone today is owned by a foreigner. You cannot be coming to our country and take everything that will make us develop, and then you still treat us as inferior people, as if we don't know what we're doing. The sense about us celebrating independence, I don't know why we celebrate independence, because we are not free.
Hey, this is Janetta. I'm telling you, I've been blessed above measure. And all my needs are being met because this is what I've always wanted. And I have some young people here with me today. And this is Joy. And Joy is tender and young, 22, but she's cute. Ooh. Yeah, they got some good looking women in Kenya. If you have any reason to come to Kenya, that's one of them. All right. Joy?
Yes.
But we don't go on that good looking stuff. We're talking about something very serious. Joy, introduce yourself. And tell us what tribe you come from. Now, those that are here in Kenya might not be interested, but if we have some American people that are looking from other countries or from America, especially, or England, they kind of like to know, what tribe are you from?
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Joy Modhoki Mativo. I am from the Kamba tribe.
Kamba tribe.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I may be turning to Kisi. You know how marriage relations tend to sort of confuse your tribe.
Yeah.
But for now, I am fully Kamba.
Okay, Kamba. Are you going to get married?
Okay, probably someday.
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 Take your time, girl.
Okay.
Hey, about jobs here in. What is your understanding of, I've been reading about Kenya, and because I don't like to come into a man's house or a woman's house and start talking about something I really don't know what the problem is. If you ask me what the problem is about jobs in the United States, I can tell you. If you ask me what the problems are about jobs in Costa Rica, because I lived there for over 20 years, I can tell you. If you ask me about jobs here in Tanzania, I have a little bit of knowledge, but not much. But in Kenya, I haven't been here that long. But I've learned in Africa as a whole, not only in Kenya, but in Africa as a whole, is industry, the lack of industry.
Yeah.
The lack of, they building different factories that would need and require people to work. And then I was very surprised. I came over here to Africa and they have a secondhand industry that you're getting everything's already made, so you don't need anybody to make them. And that you are sending out the materials to be weaved and taken care of in other countries, and then you buy it back to as a dress or as shoes or whatever. So like leather, you got plenty of cows around here, plenty of animals to be able to get the leather from them. But that leather is sourced out to other countries. And technology, we have, I've run into some of the smartest people here in Africa since I was young people.
Yeah.
Very intelligent, able to do a lot of creative things, but yet no jobs. Joy, what is your take on it?
I think, as you have said, we are importing more products than we are making, and so we export raw materials, and then we import some products that they've just done a few changes on and that they've just worked on, and so we don't have the industries in our country. And so let's say, for instance, guys in Kisi plant tea, and so they export it out, and then when it comes back to the country, it's overpriced, and the young people who are meant to be working in those industries don't have jobs because there are no industries in the country. And also the country has a very bad taxation problem, where if someone was to start an industry in Kenya, the taxes are so high, the stakes are too high for them, and so they prefer doing it abroad. And so what that leaves for the young people who are just fresh from school, there's no funding, there's no space to work, because there are no jobs, there are no industries, because where will we work? Yeah.
Well, but what is the objective? I can't understand. During colonialism, they exported a lot of things from here, farming a lot of things from here into Europe. And after the colonialism, that stopped. Instead of continuing on where you would develop businesses and still be doing business with Europe, Europe started doing business with you.
Yeah.
They started sending stuff back to you. I mean, I looked and you have Del Monte pineapple here.
Yeah.
Now the Del Monte pineapple, they own about a whole lot of acreage, and they grow all the pineapples and everything. They have a cannery, and they have a whole farm, I think, pineapple. And I think they grow cattle feed or do something. They do a lot of things, but that's Del Monte. It's owned by Del Monte. That means that they hire people here in Kenya, but at a very low scale. And then when you're just working for somebody and your company's not growing, it doesn't promote other businesses within the country.
Yeah.
And I bet you, of all things, Del Monte gets all their management group from other parts of the world. They probably don't get them from Kenya, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So for hiring, it's hard for me to understand, why would a government getting out of colonialism, and that's been almost 60 years ago, really, getting out of colonialism, why would they choose not to develop their businesses? Why would they choose to stifle themselves? After colonialism, there were a lot of businesses, because now everything was turned over, more or less. The operation of things were turned over to the people here in Kenya. So actually, your grandfather had more of an opportunity for a job than you do right now. I think it was, do you know Brian?
Brian on Twitter?
Yeah. You know him?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Well, Brian told me that he had 600 people that graduated from college with him.
Yeah.
That means there's 600 jobs that need to be filled. And that's one university.
Yeah.
600 people. So in looking at that, that means that Kenya has a lot of talent. They have a lot of young people who are educated with nowhere to go.
Yeah.
And why? What is the reason why? What is the purpose? Are you asking your government, or the people, what is the purpose? Why? What was voted on? What was agreed to that we wouldn't? Why is it we have all this land, we have 57 million people with all this brain power and talent and everything. Why is it going down the sewer or being farmed out to Israel, being farmed out to Saudi Arabia, Dubai, Germany, UK? I mean, everybody's benefiting from your education and knowledge. Then you are here, and all you're doing is sending a little change back.
Yeah. I think another problem is the universities are having courses that are not really meeting the market needs. And so despite us not having industries where the young people will work, we're having a course. I have nothing against people who've done environmental science, but I have a couple of friends who've done that course, and they got really good grades in high school, but then there are no jobs to take care of the environment in Kenya. And the times the government tries to fund projects like Kazintani, it's just political. So it doesn't even last for that long, because they have most of those projects, they have some political motives under the project. So I'd say we have a class of people who, if they were intentional to really create jobs and develop the country, they would. But since they've formed those, they've not created that space for the young people to really work. Because one, if you don't have the right course, if you're just doing, for instance, if you're just pursuing engineering because it's a prestigious course, and there are no industries, there are no businesses in the country that need as many engineers, and so most of them just fly outside the country and they go and work there, and their brains are now used there, and so they go develop stuff, and then it's sold in the country at extremely weird prices. And if we could harness that knowledge and really put some good funds into industries and ensuring the young people are well informed and they have the space to grow, we'll do well as a country and in general as a continent.
Well, let me throw this suggestion at you. You know, in times when people didn't have much of anything, they didn't have any government backing, but they would get together and they would develop something that they could work on to build. They would use what they have. They didn't just sit back and wait. If you know that a farm would do better if it had irrigation, if you had people to get together and say, we're going to put the irrigation down. We're going to do this. We're going to irrigate this farm because this farm is going to feed us. This farm is going to be helpful for us. We can do this. We can do something. We can get together and we can make a decision to do something. Let's do something together besides complaining about what the government is not doing. Because that means that we're begging them. We're pleading with them. And I have never found it very helpful to be on your knees asking anybody for anything.
True.
Because they feel powerful and you feel powerless. But a person, the people that fight through and say, we're going to do something about this. We got to do something about this. So we'll develop as much as we can with each other. I don't need an engineering job to start creating things. I need to try to find a way. Maybe I'll find somebody that knows how to melt, use cars or whatever the materials that's been to be reused. I'll find somebody that knows how to do this. I'll put this together. We'll put this together, and we'll make our own industry. We'll build from this to take something. Since you have the education, to develop ideas together and start working together, because see, that was the key in the old days. That was the key, is that people work together. But right now it's I get mine, you get yours, you get yours, you get yours. And if you get a job, I got a job, you don't have one. And you know, I'm the lucky one, you're the unlucky one. We have to stop that. We have to stop that. I got a job now, I'll pull you up, we're gonna fix something, we're gonna put this aside, we're gonna be able to work together, you know, be creative, and I can, you know, creative energy. There's something that we can do, because the way the oligarchy, the elite, have it fixed right now here in Kenya, and even in the United States, in all countries, to serve the purpose for them and not for the people. And they can't get enough money. They get just more money, the more money, the more money, the more money. And so to ask them to release some of your power and your profitability on our poverty. See, because as long as you stay poor, they get cheap labor. And then instead of having just 10 people for a job, they got 1,000 people for one job. You know what I mean? And so they have some alternatives, so they don't have to pay you a decent salary. And if you fuss, they just fire you, won't have a job. So there's something that we can do to impress that we need jobs. And you made us a promise. You see, you promised us that we went to school, got our education, that we would be able to make a good living or become something and somebody in this society. You know, but the way it's set up now is service. I mean, there's jobs for maids, bus drivers, truck drivers. I mean, but the jobs that we need for other things, other professional jobs that we should have. They're not there, but you're training and you're schooling all these people for professional jobs.
Yeah, and there's also a weird system that happens in our country. You may be overqualified for a role, but because the person hiring has a relative somewhere or a friend somewhere who has zero qualifications, they get that job. And what happens is, when such individuals run systems, they don't deliver well because they are not trained for that. And so you find smart people are devastated because you're smart, you've done your best, you've gone to school, you've not missed classes, you've just been quote unquote a good student. And then when it comes to now seeking for employment, you don't know anyone, especially if your parent is not well known or if your parent is not connected. So you find there are smart people who are at home with their papers.
But that stifles you.
Yeah.
That makes your country stay in the air. Your country is begging people right now for money. You're in debt. You're borrowing money. And you're not standing on your own. You need somebody else to help you.
Yeah.
It seemed like you'd want to get out of that position, and you can get out of that position by creating jobs in your country.
Yeah.
So the thing of it is to create jobs, but we as a people, we have to change our mindset as well. Okay, we have to change our mindset as well. They're not going to give it to us, whether we protest. They're not going to give it to us. They'll give us something, but they won't give us what we need. We have 1,000 people that need jobs. We don't need just 10 of them to get a job. We need all 1,000 of them to get a job.
Yeah.
You know, and then internship, being able to practice what you learn. I found that's very difficult here. Apprentice programs where they pay you some little bit of money or whatever. And so there's a whole lot of things that are lacking. But my country, United States, is benefiting from what Kenya is doing with their jobs and with their professional people. Then you come to my country and you work and you send a little money back here to your mom and dad or your whatever. Now, if you're sending that money to build a business, if you get together and you say, okay, we're over there and we're going to send money back and we're going to start this industry. No, that's not what we're doing. And we could do that. People can make a difference, but we have to put our mindsets.
Yeah. We need to be intentional to have that mindset shift, because if we had individuals who genuinely invested in the young people and in the businesses, Kenya will be doing really great. It will be doing really great. And there was something I wanted to see. Why am I forgetting it? The issue on schools majoring on job seeking. So you find having a job appears to be better. There's a lot of emphasis on you work hard. For instance, I think the smartest people in our country are doctors. And so you work hard, you go to med school. Med school is like 6-7 years, depending on
8 years more.
8 years, especially if you go to the university because of the strikes from the lecturers and all that. And so this smart individual, instead of yes, doing that course is important, but if we also paid attention to ensuring that children, even from a young age, they're taught on the importance of business, and there's a lot of financial literacy done in the schools, it will enable us to be at a place where even at 18, individuals are comfortable coming up with business ideas and doing startups without the fear of, I have this idea of a startup, but this job is offering me 40,000 Kenyan shillings. If I invest in this startup, it will take some time to grow, but once it starts picking up, I will do really well. But most people tend to just go for the short route. For 40,000, it's pretty decent. It's not a lot, but you will be better than the individual who's just starting. So I think also the curriculum should also invest a lot in ensuring that young minds are fine-tuned on business ideas and entrepreneurship, and it's not just something we hear out of the blue.
Well, that has something to do with jobs, because entrepreneurs create jobs.
Yeah, they do.
Okay,
They do.
entrepreneurs create jobs. I'm an entrepreneur.
Wow.
I'm an entrepreneur,
Yeah, yeah.
and I've always been. I even entrepreneur when my children were little. They were my workers. they were my employees. They were my employees. So, you know, the thing about it is, when I was, a lot of times people don't think about creating jobs. They just think about having a check for themselves. But there's so much benefits in being a person that hires people, the person that creates jobs, the person that creates jobs. That's one thing my country is that it benefits people that want to create jobs. Because if you create jobs, then that is very helpful to the economy. Okay, just like I created jobs. I'm not bragging about myself. I'm just saying that this is what you do.
Yeah.
This is what you do. I'm not rich by any way, but that money that I get, I like to see it grow.
Yeah.
And so in seeing it grow, I decide on something that I want to create or do, and I take a chance on it. And see, that's it. Is you take the opportunity. So since I've been here in Africa, I first started a cow business. Well, it didn't work out too good.
You started a cow business?
I started a cow. I was ranching, girl.
Oh,
Please.
girl. Hey.
I was ranching, but the rancher was a drunk. And so the guy that I kind of did business with, he had every reason to succeed, but he had a bad habit. But I didn't give it up. But I've had other people working for me, helping me out and doing things like that, and keeping people employed. But now I've developed a chicken business. This is a little plug for my business, all right? It's called Coco's Chicken, the best from the east to the west. But since we're going to raise other animals, we've decided to call it Coco's Farm. And that's it's in Tanzania.
Ooh.
Tanzania. Okay. Now I have 5 people working for me, and that I have 3 young men I have taken on as my business owners. They're doing the work, and I'm funding it.
Oh, wow.
So that means that they're doing the sweat equity, they're developing, they're designing, they're creating, they're operating, they're doing all that kind of stuff, and I'm funding it.
Wow.
And so other people can do the same thing. You can fund a farmer. You can buy the tractor, you can buy the this, and you can buy that, and you can go in business with that farmer and say, look, we'll split the crops, you'll own 50-50, I'll own 50-50, and then I supplied the tractor, I supplied the seed, I supplied, but the land belongs to you.
Yeah.
So if you do the farming, you do the planning, then we'll be in business together. If we do more, then if we go into business together, we can hire some people. You see what I'm talking about? We can do that. Everybody can do that. Everybody that has an income, can try to find some way they can develop a business. And some of this does not come from school, it comes from family. It comes from family saying, looky, don't just wait for somebody to hire you. Find a way that you can create a job yourself. Where you'll be your own boss. Now, Joy, there's a lot of people that are workers, and they're not people that are entrepreneurs. There are a lot of people that are workers. And so you have to supply a job for a worker, and you get good workers, you get a good business. But there are some people that I don't care what you say, how much money you say they can make, or whatever, they are workers.
I was doing a study recently, and I realized that there's still a slave mentality that most of us have. So you're sort of like, you're okay being a worker, as long as I got my 50 G's, I have a good house, I'm able to probably buy a few good clothes. Most people they're not thinking from the point of, okay, what can I do to influence the people around me? If if roles were switched, if we were not colonized, we would have probably have been better. You know, the system that we were talking about, where guys would in the olden days would decide, okay, let's farm, let's do this together as a community. That was better. Other than
well, we can go back to that. Why can't we go back to that?
Yeah, if we go back to that, our continent.
Well, it looks like you're going to have to go back to that.
Yeah.
In order to have jobs here in Kenya. And not only in Kenya, not unless you get Ibrahim Traore here that comes and wipes out everything and just say, okay, let's order some tractors and this and that instead of ordering Rolls Royces to ride around town in. But you have to do it. You're going to have to do it. You can't wait on the government to do it.
That's true.
You have to do it yourself. And one thing about when you do it yourself, it's yours. And nobody can dictate to you how to do it, when to do it. Then you take power over. When you have the power and when you're creating and building, but as long as you're in a position of asking people for something, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Because it just didn't happen with this president you have. It has been going on for a long time. It didn't get in the position that it is now. It's from the past to right now. So what people have to do, Joy, is try to get together, put their heads together, and stop putting their heads together blaming, and which is you're right. You're right, they're wrong, but you have to do something else besides complain about what's wrong, what the problem is. Let's sit and talk for hours about the solution.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Yeah. I think also you mentioned something about relatives having family start businesses.
Right.
There's this famous thing that has been going on the Kenyan TikTok where as a graduate or you're still in school, your relatives will tell you, Mativo, work hard. I know people. I will connect you. You'll cut off the part. I will connect you. You know, I have connections. Or you have an uncle who's probably the CEO of a company of Sparks. And so once you're done with school, that is not offered. So I think for us as the young people, it's being intentional to now stop the bad culture that has been going on for years. There's a lot of jealousy, weird jealousy among the African culture. I don't know that it's there in your country, but in Kenya, they don't. There's some uncles who don't want to see you doing better than their children, and so they may be in positions where they may help. They're able to help you, but because they don't want to have you doing better than the children, they'll not offer that for you. So I'd say it's all boils down to our mindset.
Well, not only uncles, but sometimes sisters and brothers I've found since I've been here. And see, I think what it is, and I'm not saying it's a better thing in America, but I think what it is that we as slaves in America were all broken up and we didn't have families. And so they took us away from our families. They'd take you here and sell you over here, sell you over there, sell you over there. And when slavery ended, we needed each other because those white people weren't going to help us to succeed. They wanted us to come crawling back and saying we want to be slave master again. But we worked together. And so you learn that families help to pull the other family, and a lot of times the families, not only relatives, but families just live together and group together to try to pull each other up. And we learn how to do that. Here you are living in your own country, on your own continent, and all this belongs to you. We had nothing. You understand what I'm saying? We had absolutely nothing. They didn't give us anything. We didn't have anything. And we only had each other. So our togetherness is not the greatest in the world. It is a better situation than it is here in Africa. But it's the conditions that we lived under that help to grow that situation that we're under, where you didn't have quite those situations here. It's like I got on first and I'm gonna stay on first, and you know, I'll let you get on first if I get ready to get off. But you know, and so I found this with sisters and brothers that they even have jealousy with them. Where the brother has a job, he wants to, or whatever, working, if you're working for your brother, he don't want to pay you, and all that, you know. we have to get rid of, and now those are attitudes before colonialization. And what we have to really decide is that we have to get over it. We have to address those attitudes, and we have to look forward. And then we have to confront. And I know here in Africa that you don't really fuss with the older people. Okay, you're taught not to, disrespect them. But I'm sorry, it's not disrespecting, but you're going to have to let them know we can't do it like you did it. We got to do something different. We have to be doing something different. If you really say you have the love of God, there's more Christians and more Muslims. You all are more holy than any place I've ever been. In Africa, you are holy.
You're holy?
You're holy, and it says in the Bible that you're supposed to give, and it will be given to you. So why is it you won't give to your brother, your sister, or whatever? I mean, talk to me. I'm saying there's some reason as to why our culture or what is happening to us, we're not exempt from being part of the problem. So we as a people have to try to figure out, how can we get jobs? Do we have to burn Rudolph's house down? And after we burn his house down, are we going to get a job?
No.
Okay, who are you going to rise up? Who are you going to raise up that's not connected with the oligarch, not connected with the elite, that's going to raise up and take that seat? Who are you going to raise up? Who are you going to raise up that's going to wipe all this away and take away these conditions here? Who are you going to raise up?
I think it should be an individual responsibility. Like it's the way you're intentional to wake up and brush your teeth. You'll also be intentional to ensure that in your own small or big way, you are creating opportunities for people. And so you cannot create opportunities for people without understanding the market and without having the right attitude first, the right mindset. So I'd say it's for young people to have the right mindset. And then with the right mindset, remove greed from the picture. Let's stop this narrative where one person owns half of our country. And so gather resources, be intentional to share, and we'll have more.
Oh, you got to be kidding. Because, one of the things that you got to do, but it starts with the individual. What do you plan to do? What are your plans? I mean, are your plans, as soon as you get that job, you get paid, you go get you a better skirt, a better hat, fix your hair better, get your nails done to it, buy your high heel shoes, get you a car, a nice car, and live in a nice house? What is your intention? Are you going to turn that money into money?
I read somewhere you're not meant to share your goals, but I have that plan of starting a business. I'm in the healthcare field. I'm a nurse, and so there's that desire. It has been there since I almost use a Swahili word, kitambo, since back in the ages. And so I'd say I really am passionate about seeing what fellow young people can do. And because I am 22 right now, the most I can do is wait to finish until I finish school, get a job, and use the money with family to start something and fund better young people in the healthcare system. Because if we start talking about the healthcare system in our country, we will sit here for hours, because there's so many things that are not done in the right way. And it's not because we don't have the resources, it's because the people who are managing those resources are not doing it so well. We don't even need USAID. It was cut off, and patients are still getting the care that they were getting while USAID was still there. And so I'd say it's from where I sit, it's being intentional to fund in the little way that I'm able to. And also, this is I've given back to the community by coming to your channel.
Well, the thing I want to impress, Joy, is that first of all, we need to change our mindset. And secondly, we need to put in operation. We need to put something in operation, because we can talk about it forever, But if we don't start making the steps towards making a change, even with your healthcare fear, you should be trying to find out how in healthcare you can design your own business, develop your own business in healthcare. You might be a person that goes house to house with healthcare or something. You might have a little company or whatever that you do private health care and that whatever, private nursing or whatever. There's a lot of things, or you specialize in a certain area for a certain that might not be, you can create almost anything. So but what we have to do is all of us are not creators, and all of us are really not go-getters, and we need jobs. We need jobs for us. We need jobs, entrepreneur opportunities for us, and we need jobs for the others. So we have to unlock this thing that has sealed us up here in Africa, period, and in Kenya. And I don't know if you've looked at it, but I would suggest that the young people start reading all of what is controlling and doing, but most of them don't want to read it and research it. To read it and research it and find out what is the specific problem of holding you back and why.
That's a good place to start here.
And I think that's a good place to start, and I think jobs will come about.
Yeah, that would be cool.
And a positive, and I think it is in the Bible, it says that the words of your mouth and the meditation of your heart. And so we have to be careful and start speaking life into what is happening instead of talking about the depth of what is happening. We don't have jobs, we don't have this, we don't have this, we don't have this, we don't. Let's talk about what we do have. We have intelligence, we're smart, we have opportunity, we're inventive, we can make it. There's nothing that can hold us back. I'm not going to allow anything to keep me from doing what I plan to do. I'm going to build my dream. It doesn't make any difference if Rudolph, whatever is the president is in office or not, or who's sitting on the throne. I'm going to get mine because it says that I can do all things through the one you call Christ Jesus, who strengthens you.
Amen.
That's what it says. Now, if you believe that, walk it, and it'll work for you. But as long as we're talking negative comes because words are spiritual. And so let's talk about what positive. We have all it takes. Kenya has all it takes to be a wealthy country. It has all it takes to be a wealthy country. So how can we get together and turn this thing around and make it work for us and stop listening? But we can't have this, we can't have that, we need this, we don't have money for this, we don't have this, we don't have this, we got bad leaders, we got bad this, we got bad this, and this is wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong. Do you know that telling somebody how bad they are does not make them good?
Yeah. It doesn't. It actually, you become what you focus on. Someone is telling me time is up.
I heard him.
Yeah, you heard him?
I heard him. I heard him. But that's all right.
Yeah. But I think I like how you've emphasized on mindset, because that's what, if we focus on how bad things are, things won't become any better. So I think shifting the focus to what do we have, what can we do that will make things better, and we'll probably have a conversation on how, oh wow, we're having more jobs in our country again. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you're sweet, Joy. And it's been nice talking to you.
It's been an honor.
The best, you are going to have the best. Things will turn around here in Kenya.
Amen.
Bad things can't be bad always. And so what goes up comes down.
Yeah.
And so it will change for you. So thank you for coming and being with me. And girl, please come over again, because we got a lot to talk about. We got to talk about that dating stuff and that man, getting that man, all this kind of stuff like that.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah. Okay. We'll talk at another time. Okay. Hey, catch you the next time. Woo-hoo! This is Janetta checking out with you.
Hi.
There's money in Kenya. There's money.
They are doing empowerment.
There's money.
A lot of empowerment.
They are doing empowerment. A lot of empowerment. Why can't they? It's not helping us. They have money. If you see the wastage in the government, the money they waste per day can fund the entire education.
Hey, this is Janetta, and you're watching Africa Speak.